The morning sun crested over the rugged mountains of Wyoming territory, casting long shadows across the dusty main street of Clearwater as Lily Taylor guided her dappled mare through town, her heart set on a future that waited just beyond the horizon. The year was 1878, and at 22, Lily had finally gathered enough courage to accept the marriage proposal from Cole Lancaster, the most respected rancher in the county and the man who had stolen her heart during last year's spring dance. The town was already stirring to life despite the early hour. Shopkeepers swept their boardwalks while ranch hands meandered toward the saloon after a long night's watch. Lily nodded politely to Mrs. Henderson outside the general store, her thoughts drifting to the letter tucked safely in her saddlebag, Cole's latest correspondence detailing his eager anticipation for her arrival at the Diamond L Ranch, where they would begin their life together. "Miss Taylor," Sheriff Wilson called out, tipping his hat as she passed. "Heading out to Lancaster's place, I reckon?" "Yes, sir," Lily replied with a smile that barely contained her excitement. "Today's the day." The sheriff's expression shifted subtly. "Might want to take the long route through Settlers Pass. Had reports of the Blackwell gang causing trouble on the direct trail." Lily's smile faltered. The longer route would add hours to her journey, but she nodded gratefully. "I appreciate the warning." As Lily left town behind, the rolling landscape opened before her. Golden prairie grass swayed in the gentle breeze, punctuated by stands of aspen and pine that climbed the distant mountains. Her thoughts turned to Cole, his deep blue eyes that crinkled at the corners when he laughed, the gentle way he'd tucked a flower behind her ear at the church social, and how he'd written faithfully every week since she'd agreed to become his wife. The sun climbed higher as Lily followed the winding trail through Settlers Pass. By midday, she stopped to rest her horse near a bubbling creek. As she refilled her canteen, a distant rumble caught her attention, not thunder, but the unmistakable sound of hoofbeats. Lily tensed, scrambling to mount her mare. Sheriff Wilson's warning echoed in her mind as she urged her horse forward, hoping to reach the cover of trees ahead. The hoofbeats grew louder, and she risked a glance over her shoulder to see 3 riders cresting the hill behind her. "Keep going," she whispered to her horse, leaning low over the saddle. But her mare, though swift, was no match for the pursuing riders. Within minutes they closed the distance. Lily's heart hammered in her chest as she recognized the notorious Blackwell gang from wanted posters plastered across the territory. "Whoa there, miss!" the lead rider called out. "No need to run!" Lily ignored him, pushing her mare harder until a warning shot cracked the air. Her horse reared in panic, nearly unseating her. By the time she regained control, the men had surrounded her. "Well, what do we have here?" said the oldest of the 3, a grizzled man with a jagged scar across his cheek. "Where you headed in such a hurry, pretty lady?" "That's none of your concern," Lily replied, struggling to keep her voice steady. "I have nothing of value." The men laughed. "Your horse looks plenty valuable," said the youngest, eyeing her dappled mare. "And those saddlebags might hold something interesting." As they closed in, a shot rang out from the ridge above. The outlaws scattered for cover as another bullet kicked up dirt near their horses' hooves. "Blackwell," a deep voice called from the rocks. "Clear out before I put a hole through that sorry excuse for a head." Lily looked up to see a lone figure on horseback, rifle raised. The outlaws cursed, the leader clearly weighing his options before spitting on the ground. "This ain't over," he growled before signaling his men to retreat. As the dust from their departure settled, Lily's rescuer descended from the ridge. He sat tall in the saddle of a magnificent black stallion, his broad shoulders squared beneath a worn leather vest. His face was partially hidden beneath the shadow of his hat, but she could see he was handsome, with a strong jaw dusted with stubble. "Are you all right, madam?" he asked, his voice gentler now that the danger had passed. "Yes, thanks to you," Lily replied, still trembling slightly. "I'm indebted to you, Mr. Lancaster, Cole Lancaster." He tipped his hat, revealing eyes blue as a summer sky. "And you must be Miss Taylor." Lily's breath caught. "Cole, I wasn't expecting to meet you like this." A slow smile spread across his face. "I got impatient waiting. Thought I'd ride out and escort you the rest of the way." He paused, looking back in the direction the outlaws had fled. Good thing I did. Lily felt warmth spreading through her chest despite the lingering fear. This was the man she had agreed to marry, brave and thoughtful, and even more handsome than she remembered. Shall we? Cole extended his hand toward the trail ahead. The ranch is still a few hours' ride, and I'd rather not chance another run-in with Blackwell's boys. As they rode side by side, Lily stole glances at her future husband. His profile was strong against the afternoon sky, and though his manner was reserved, there was a kindness in his eyes that reassured her. He asked about her journey from Illinois, listened attentively to her stories of home, and pointed out landmarks as they traveled. There, Cole said as they crested a rise in the late afternoon. Diamond L Ranch. Below them stretched a verdant valley nestled between protective ridges. A large ranch house stood proudly amid a collection of outbuildings, corrals filled with horses, and pastures dotted with cattle. Smoke curled from the chimney, and Lily could make out figures moving about the yard. It's beautiful, she breathed, suddenly overcome with emotion. This would be her home, their home. Cole's expression softened as he watched her. It's even more beautiful now that you're here to share it. They rode down into the valley as the sun began its descent, painting the sky in brilliant hues of orange and pink. As they approached the ranch, workers called out greetings to Cole, eyeing Lily with curious but friendly expressions. An older man with weathered features emerged from the barn, wiping his hands on a rag. "About time you got back, boss. We were starting to worry." "Had a bit of trouble with Blackwell's gang," Cole replied, dismounting and reaching up to help Lily from her saddle. "Sam, this is Miss Lily Taylor. Lily, this is Sam Hawkins, my foreman and oldest friend." Sam's face broke into a wide grin as he tipped his hat. "Miss Taylor, we've heard nothing but good things. Welcome to Diamond L." A plump woman with silver-streaked hair hurried from the house, wiping her hands on her apron. "Is this her? Is this your Lily?" She didn't wait for an answer before enveloping Lily in a warm embrace. "I'm Martha, the housekeeper. Oh, we've been preparing for days. Come in, you must be exhausted." Cole placed a gentle hand on Lily's back. "Martha's been with my family since I was a boy." "She runs this place more than I do," Martha scoffed good-naturedly. "Nonsense, but I do have supper waiting, and I've prepared the guest room for Miss Taylor." As they walked toward the house, Cole leaned close to Lily's ear. "The wedding's not for 2 weeks. Plenty of time for you to change your mind if ranch life isn't what you expected." Lily looked up at him, at the uncertainty hidden behind his confident exterior. "I won't be changing my mind, Mr. Lancaster. I came here to marry you, and that's exactly what I intend to do." His answering smile warmed her to her toes as he guided her into what would soon be their home. The following days passed in a blur as Lily settled into life at Diamond L Ranch. Martha took her under wing, showing her the workings of the household while Cole attended to ranch business. In the evenings, they would sit on the porch watching the sunset, learning more about each other with each passing day. One afternoon, a week before the wedding, Cole invited Lily to ride out to a special place on the property. They followed a narrow trail that wound through a stand of aspens, their leaves shimmering gold in the sunlight. "My father brought my mother here when they first arrived," Cole explained as they emerged into a hidden meadow where wildflowers carpeted the ground. A small stream gurgled nearby, and the mountains formed a perfect backdrop against the clear blue sky. "It's breathtaking," Lily said, accepting Cole's hand as she dismounted. "I thought we might build our own house here someday," he said, suddenly looking boyishly uncertain. "If you'd like that." Lily's heart swelled. "I would like that very much." Cole took her hands in his thumbs tracing gentle circles on her skin. "Lily, I know our courtship has been unusual, mostly through letters until now. If you need more time," she silenced him by placing her fingers against his lips. "Cole Lancaster, I've known since your 3rd letter that you were the man I wanted to spend my life with. Being here with you has only confirmed it." Relief and joy transformed his face as he pulled her close. Their first kiss was gentle, tentative, but filled with promise. When they parted, both were breathless and smiling. "I have something for you," Cole said, reaching into his vest pocket and producing a delicate gold ring set with a small diamond. "It was my mother's. I've been carrying it, waiting for the right moment." Tears pricked Lily's eyes as he slid the ring onto her finger. "It's perfect." They spent the afternoon in the meadow, planning their future and stealing kisses between conversations. As the sun began to dip, Cole reluctantly suggested they head back to the ranch. "Martha will send out a search party if we're late for supper," he said with a laugh. They mounted their horses and had just entered the aspen grove when a rattlesnake slithered across the path. Cole's stallion reared violently, catching him off guard. Lily watched in horror as he was thrown backward, his head striking a rock with a sickening thud. "Cole!" she screamed, leaping from her horse and rushing to where he lay motionless. Blood pooled beneath his head, his face deathly pale. With trembling hands, Lily checked for a pulse, crying out in relief when she found one. But Cole remained unconscious, unresponsive to her desperate pleas for him to wake up. Knowing she couldn't move him alone, Lily tore a strip from her petticoat to press against his wound, then mounted her mare. "Stay with him," she instructed Cole's horse, which had calmed and now stood nearby, as if understanding the gravity of the situation. Lily rode harder than she ever had before, bursting into the ranch yard shouting for help. Sam and two ranch hands immediately mounted up, following her back to the aspen grove with a makeshift stretcher fashioned between two horses. "He's still breathing," Sam confirmed after checking Cole. "But that's a nasty blow to the head. We need to get him back and send for the doctor." The journey back to the ranch was agonizing, with Lily constantly checking to ensure Cole still breathed. Martha gasped when they carried him into the house, quickly directing them to lay him in his bedroom. "Tom," Sam addressed one of the hands, "ride to town for Doc Morrison, fast as you can." Lily refused to leave Cole's side as Martha cleaned the wound and applied a poultice. His breathing remained steady, but he showed no signs of waking. "The doctor will know what to do," Martha reassured Lily, though worry lined her face. Night had fallen by the time Dr. Morrison arrived, his bag clutched tightly in his weathered hands. He examined Cole thoroughly, his expression growing more grave with each passing minute. "He suffered a severe concussion," the doctor finally announced. "The skull doesn't appear to be fractured, which is fortunate, but there's no telling when he'll regain consciousness. It could be hours, days." He hesitated. "Or longer." "But he will wake up?" Lily asked, her voice small. Dr. Morrison placed a kind hand on her shoulder. "Head injuries are unpredictable, Miss Taylor. All we can do is wait and pray." The doctor left instructions for Cole's care, changing the bandages, administering small amounts of water, watching for fever before departing with a promise to return the following day. Thus began Lily's vigil. She refused to leave Cole's bedside, except when Martha insisted she eat or rest briefly. Days blurred together as she bathed his fevered brow, spoke to him of their plans, and read aloud from his favorite books. A week after the accident, Sam knocked softly on the bedroom door. "Miss Lily, there are some decisions about the ranch that need making." Lily looked up, exhaustion evident in the dark circles beneath her eyes. "Can't they wait until Cole is better?" Sam shifted uncomfortably. "Some can, but the cattle drive can't. We're scheduled to move the herd to market next week." Lily hesitated, glancing at Cole's still form. What would Cole do? "He'd want the drive to proceed. It's our biggest income for the year." "Then do it," she decided firmly. "And any other decisions that can't wait, bring to me. I'll do my best to honor what Cole would want." Sam nodded, respect evident in his eyes. "Yes, madam." As word spread about Cole's condition, neighbors began arriving with food and offers of help. Lily received them graciously, drawing strength from the community's support and their stories about the man she'd come to love. 2 weeks after the accident, the day they were to have been married, Lily sat beside Cole's bed, holding his hand and fighting back tears. "We should be saying our vows right now," she whispered. "Everyone's still coming for dinner," Martha insisted. Said people need to eat whether there's a wedding or not. She brushed a lock of hair from his forehead. But I told her I won't celebrate without you. Our wedding will happen, Cole Lancaster. I'll wait as long as it takes. That evening, as the guests departed and quiet settled over the ranch once more, Cole's eyelids fluttered for the first time since the accident. Lily, who had been dozing in the chair beside him, jerked awake at the slight movement. "Cole," she gasped, leaning closer. His eyes opened slowly, confusion evident in their blue depths as they focused on her face. Lily's heart soared with hope and relief. "Thank God," she breathed, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Cole, can you hear me?" He blinked several times, his gaze wandering the room before returning to her face. When he spoke, his voice was hoarse from disuse. "Where am I?" "You're home at Diamond L. You fell from your horse and hit your head." Lily squeezed his hand. "You've been unconscious for 2 weeks." Cole's brow furrowed as he studied her face. "Diamond L," he repeated slowly, as if testing the words. "That's my ranch?" A chill ran through Lily. "Yes, your father's ranch. You inherited it 5 years ago when he passed." He nodded slightly, wincing at the movement. "And you are." The question struck Lily like a physical blow. "I'm Lily," she said, her voice breaking. "Lily Taylor, your fiancée." Cole's expression remained blank, his eyes searching her face for any spark of recognition. "I'm sorry," he said finally. "I don't remember." Martha found Lily sobbing in the kitchen an hour later, after Cole had fallen back into an exhausted sleep. "He doesn't know me," Lily choked out as the older woman wrapped her in a comforting embrace. "He remembers some things his name, that this is his ranch, but not me." "Give it time," Martha soothed, stroking Lily's hair. "The doctor said memory loss might happen with a head injury like his. It could come back any day." "And if it doesn't?" Lily pulled back, wiping her tears. "What then? Should I go home?" Martha's face hardened with determination. "Lily Taylor, that man in there loves you. He may not remember it right now, but I've never seen Cole Lancaster look at anyone the way he looks at you. If you love him too, you'll stay and help him remember." Lily squared her shoulders, drawing strength from Martha's conviction. "You're right. I'm not giving up on us." The following days brought steady improvement in Cole's physical condition. He regained his strength enough to sit up, then to take short walks around the room. Dr. Morrison pronounced the healing remarkable, but remained guarded about the memory loss. "It's not unusual with head trauma," he explained to Lily privately. "Sometimes the memories return in bits and pieces, sometimes all at once. Some patients never fully recover their past." "Is there anything I can do to help him remember?" Lily asked. "Keep him surrounded by familiar things. Tell him stories about his life, show him mementos, but don't pressure him. That often makes things worse. The mind must heal in its own time." Lily took the doctor's advice to heart. Each day she spent hours with Cole, gradually reintroducing him to his life. She brought photo albums and keepsakes, shared stories of his family and their courtship, and invited ranch hands who'd known him longest to visit briefly. Cole received her attentions with polite gratitude, but the intimate connection they'd shared remained elusive. Sometimes Lily caught him watching her with a puzzled expression, as if trying to place a half-remembered dream. "Sam says I proposed to you at the spring dance last year," Cole said one afternoon as they sat on the porch, watching the ranch hands work with a new group of horses in the corral. "Yes," Lily smiled at the memory. "You were terribly nervous. You dropped the ring in the punch bowl and had to fish it out while everyone pretended not to notice." Cole chuckled, then grew serious. "You must have loved me very much to travel all this way." "I still do," Lily said softly. His eyes met hers, troubled. "I wish I could remember. It's not fair to you, waiting for a man who doesn't remember falling in love with you." "Life isn't always fair," Lily replied, reaching for his hand, "but some things are worth waiting for." As June turned to July, Cole regained enough strength to resume some of his ranch duties. Lily often accompanied him on his rounds, using the opportunity to share more of their history. She noticed he seemed most comfortable on horseback, his body remembering what his mind could not. One evening, Cole discovered Lily in the study, reading through their exchanged letters. "Are those from me?" he asked, settling into the chair opposite her. Lily nodded. "Would you like to hear one?" When he agreed, she selected a letter from the previous winter and began to read. "My dearest Lily, the snow has finally stopped after 3 days of blizzard conditions that kept us all indoors. I found myself thinking of you constantly, imagining how different such days will be once you're here. The house seems emptier somehow, knowing you will someday fill it with your presence, but are not yet here." She continued reading, her voice soft in the lamplight. When she finished, Cole was staring into the distance, his expression unreadable. "I wrote that?" he asked finally. "Yes, you wrote every week, sometimes twice." He took the letter from her, examining his own handwriting as if it might hold some key to his lost memories. "I sound very much in love." "You were," Lily said simply. "We both were." Cole carefully refolded the letter. "May I keep this? To read the others?" "Of course." Lily gathered the bundle and passed it to him. "They're yours as much as mine." That night, Cole stayed up late reading through every letter he'd written to Lily over the past year. The next morning, she found him on the porch, watching the sunrise with the letters stacked neatly beside him. "Did they help?" she asked, joining him with 2 cups of coffee. "They feel like they were written by someone else," he admitted, accepting the coffee gratefully. "But they also feel true. Like something just beyond my reach." July brought scorching heat to the valley, and with it came increasing pressure from the bank regarding the ranch's finances. Cole had been scheduled to negotiate a loan extension before his accident, and now the deadline loomed with no extension in sight. "We need that money to get us through until the fall cattle sale," Sam explained during a tense meeting in the study. "Without it, we might have to sell off part of the herd at rock-bottom prices." Cole ran a hand through his hair in frustration. "And the banker won't meet with anyone but me? He says only the property owner can authorize such a large loan." "But," Sam hesitated, glancing at Lily. "What is it, Sam?" she prompted. "You might not remember enough about the ranch's finances to convince him, Cole. No offense, but you're still piecing things together." Cole's jaw tightened. "Then I'll have to remember, won't I?" For the next 3 days, Cole immersed himself in the ranch ledgers and financial documents, working late into the night. Lily brought him meals he barely touched, watching with growing concern as dark circles formed beneath his eyes. On the morning Cole was to ride into town for the bank meeting, Lily found him asleep at his desk, his head resting on open ledgers. She gently touched his shoulder. "Cole, it's time." He startled awake, momentarily disoriented before his gaze fixed on her face. "Lily?" Something in the way he said her name made her heart skip. "Are you ready for the meeting?" she asked. Cole stood, stretching his stiff muscles. "As ready as I'll ever be, but I'd like you to come with me." "Me?" "But Sam said the banker would only meet with you." "I don't care what Hargrove says. You know this ranch almost as well as I do now, and I—" He paused, searching for words. "I trust you. I may not remember our past, but I know what kind of person you are." Touched by his confidence, Lily agreed. They rode into Clearwater together, drawing curious glances from townspeople who'd heard about Cole's condition. Many called out greetings, and Lily noted how Cole responded naturally, his body remembering social rituals his mind had forgotten. At the bank, Mr. Hargrove initially objected to Lily's presence, but relented when Cole firmly insisted. The meeting proceeded better than either had dared hope. Cole presented the ranch's financial situation with surprising clarity, and when he faltered, Lily smoothly provided the details he couldn't recall. "Very well, Lancaster," Hargrove said when they'd finished. "I'll extend the loan for 6 months, but I expect prompt payment come December." "You'll have it," Cole promised, shaking the banker's hand. As they left the bank, Cole's step was lighter than it had been in weeks. "We did it," he said, grinning at Lily. "I couldn't have managed without you." "It was all you, Cole. I just filled in a few blanks." His expression softened as he looked at her. You've been filling in all my blanks since I woke up, haven't you?" Before she could respond, a commotion erupted down the street. Horses whinnied in panic as 3 riders thundered into town, guns drawn. Lily's blood ran cold as she recognized the scarred face of the outlaw leader who had accosted her on the trail months earlier. "Blackwell," she whispered. Cole's body tensed beside her, his hand moving instinctively to the gun at his hip. "Get inside," he ordered, pushing Lily toward the bank entrance, but it was too late. Blackwell had spotted them and was steering his horse in their direction, his men following close behind. "Well, well," the outlaw drawled, bringing his horse to a stop before them. "If it ain't Lancaster and his pretty lady friend. Been looking for you too." "Whatever business you think you have with us, it can wait," Cole said evenly. "This is a peaceful town." Blackwell spat on the ground. "Peaceful ain't profitable, and you made me look bad in front of my boys, shooting at us like that." "You were threatening Miss Taylor," Cole replied, his hand still hovering near his gun. Lily stared at Cole in confusion. He couldn't possibly remember the encounter with the Blackwell gang. It had happened the day they met, before his accident. Blackwell's eyes narrowed. "So you do remember. Heard you took a bad fall and forgot your own name." "Some things a man doesn't forget," Cole said, his voice dangerously quiet. "Like protecting what's his." The standoff stretched taut as a bowstring. Down the street, Lily could see the sheriff emerging from his office, alerted by the commotion. Several townspeople had taken cover, while others watched from doorways and windows. "I owe you for that day," Blackwell growled, his hand moving to his holster, "and I always pay my debts." What happened next unfolded with lightning speed. Blackwell drew, but Cole was faster. 2 shots cracked the air in rapid succession. Blackwell clutched his shoulder, his unfired gun dropping to the dirt, while his second-in-command toppled from his saddle with a wound to the leg. "Drop it!" Sheriff Wilson shouted, his rifle aimed at the third outlaw, who wisely raised his hands in surrender. Within minutes, the Blackwell gang was being escorted to the jail, the wounded receiving reluctant attention from the town doctor. As the excitement died down, Lily turned to Cole, her mind reeling. "You remembered," she said. "You remembered saving me from them." Cole holstered his gun, his expression confused. I'm not sure what happened. When he threatened you, something just clicked into place." Hope flared in Lily's chest. "Dr. Morrison said memories might return in pieces." "It wasn't really a memory," Cole said slowly. "More like instinct. I just knew I'd faced him before. Knew I had to protect you." They rode back to Diamond L in thoughtful silence, each contemplating the implications of what had happened. That evening, after dinner, Cole suggested they walk in the garden Martha had lovingly maintained at the side of the house. "Something's changing," he said as they strolled between rows of summer blooms. "Since reading the letters, I've been having, not memories exactly, but feelings. Moments of connection." Lily's heart quickened. "What kind of feelings?" Cole stopped, turning to face her in the fading light. "When I look at you sometimes, I feel like I'm coming home. Like there's somewhere inside me that recognizes you, even if my mind doesn't." Tears pricked Lily's eyes. "That's how I've always felt about you, from the first letter you sent." He reached out hesitantly, his fingers brushing her cheek. "I may not remember falling in love with you before, Lily Taylor, but I think I might be falling in love with you all over again." Lily closed her eyes, leaning into his touch. Cole. His lips found hers in a gentle kiss that deepened as she responded. When they finally parted, both were breathless. "I've wanted to do that since I woke up," Cole admitted. "Even when I couldn't remember who you were, I wanted to kiss you." Lily laughed softly. "You're welcome to do it again any time." The remainder of July passed in a sweet haze as Cole and Lily rediscovered each other. Though his memories remained elusive, Cole no longer seemed troubled by their absence. Instead, he focused on creating new memories, courting Lily as if for the first time. They rode together across the ranch lands, picnicked by the stream, and spent evenings on the porch sharing stories and dreams. Occasionally, Something would trigger a flash of recognition in Cole, the scent of Lily's lavender soap, a particular song Martha hummed while cooking, the way sunlight filtered through the aspens in their special meadow. In early August, Cole suggested they revisit the meadow where his accident had occurred. Lily hesitated, worried the place might hold negative associations, but Cole insisted. "I need to see it," he explained. "Maybe it will help." They rode out on a perfect summer morning, following the now familiar trail through the aspens. When they reached the meadow, Cole dismounted slowly, surveying the peaceful scene with intense concentration. "This is where I brought you that day," he said, walking to the center of the clearing. "To show you where I wanted to build our home," Lily's breath caught. "Yes. How did you know that?" Cole turned in a slow circle, his eyes taking in every detail of the meadow. "I can see it," he said softly. "Not clearly, but in pieces. You were wearing a blue dress. The sun was setting. I gave you my mother's ring." Lily's hand went to the chain around her neck where she'd kept the ring since his accident. "Cole, are you remembering?" He closed his eyes, concentrating. "I remember how happy I felt, how nervous. I remember thinking I was the luckiest man alive when you said yes." Tears spilled down Lily's cheeks as she moved to stand before him. "What else do you remember?" Cole opened his eyes, reaching to brush away her tears. "I remember the snake, my horse rearing. Then nothing until waking up to find you by my side." He took both her hands in his. "But I've been remembering more each day. Little things. The way you take your coffee. How you hum when you're concentrating on something. The letters I wrote you." "Those could be new observations," Lily pointed out gently. "True," Cole acknowledged. "But what about this?" He drew her close, his lips finding the sensitive spot just below her ear that never failed to make her shiver with pleasure. Lily gasped. "You remember that?" "I remember everything about how to love you, Lily Taylor," he whispered against her skin, "even if I don't remember learning it." They returned to the ranch that evening with a renewed sense of hope. Though Cole's memories remained fragmentary, they both felt certain now that his past wasn't lost forever, merely waiting to be rediscovered. As August progressed, preparations began for the fall roundup. Cole threw himself into the work, his body remembering skills his mind still struggled to recall. Lily worked alongside Martha managing the household, but also insisted on joining the evening strategy sessions where Cole and his men planned the upcoming drive. "You've taken to ranch life better than anyone expected," Sam remarked one evening as they finished discussing the drive. "Most city girls would have run home crying by now." "Good thing I'm not most girls," Lily replied with a smile. Cole's hand found hers beneath the table, giving it a gentle squeeze. "No, you certainly are not." Later that night, as they sat alone on the porch watching stars appear in the velvet sky, Cole seemed unusually quiet. "What are you thinking about?" Lily asked, leaning against his shoulder. "Our wedding," he replied, "the one that never happened." Lily's heart skipped a beat. "What about it?" Cole turned to face her, taking her hands in his. "I was thinking we should reschedule it." "Cole," Lily breathed, "are you sure? Your memories—" "My memories may never fully return," he interrupted gently. "But I'm not going to let that stop me from moving forward. I love you, Lily. Whether it's from before or after my accident doesn't matter. I want to marry you." Joy bubbled up inside her, bright and effervescent. "Yes," she said simply. "Whenever you want." "How about September, after the roundup but before the drive to market? Just a small ceremony here at the ranch." Lily nodded, too overcome with emotion to speak. Cole drew her into his arms, his kiss a seal on their renewed promise. The following weeks were a whirlwind of activity as the ranch prepared for both the roundup and the wedding. Word spread quickly throughout the county, and congratulatory notes and gifts began arriving from neighbors and friends. Martha took charge of wedding preparations with military precision, enlisting Lily's help with decisions about food, flowers, and decorations. The date was set for September 12th, and as it approached, Lily found herself caught between excitement and a lingering worry. Though Cole seemed certain about his feelings, What if his memories returned and changed something between them? What if he remembered reasons why they shouldn't marry? She confessed her fears to Martha one afternoon as they worked together in the kitchen. "Nonsense," the older woman declared firmly. "That man adores you, memories or no memories, and from what I've seen, he's even more in love with you now than before." "How could that be?" Lily asked, genuinely curious. Martha wiped her hands on her apron, considering. "Before, he knew you mostly through letters. Now he knows the real you, the woman who stayed by his side through his darkest days, who helped run his ranch when he couldn't, who loved him enough to wait until he could love her back. That kind of knowing runs deeper than any memory." Lily pondered Martha's words as September arrived, bringing cooler temperatures and the bustle of the roundup. For a week, the ranch was consumed with the task of gathering scattered cattle from the summer pastures, working from dawn until dusk to bring the herd together. Lily pitched in where she could, cooking alongside Martha to feed the hungry cowhands and even riding out with supplies when needed. Cole thrived during the roundup, his confidence growing as his body remembered what his mind sometimes couldn't. Lily often caught him laughing with his men around the evening fire, relaxed and at home in his role as rancher. These were the moments that reassured her most, seeing him so completely himself, memory loss notwithstanding. 3 days before the wedding, disaster struck. One of the ranch hands rode in at full gallop, his horse lathered with exertion. "Boss," he shouted as Cole emerged from the barn, "Blackwell's broken out of jail. Sheriff says he's swearing revenge on you and Miss Taylor." Cole's expression hardened as he quickly gave orders to increase security around the ranch. Extra men were posted as sentries, and no one was to ride out alone. The wedding preparations continued, but now with an undercurrent of tension. "Should we postpone?" Lily asked that evening as they discussed the situation. "No," Cole said firmly. "I won't let Blackwell dictate our lives. The sheriff thinks he's headed for the territorial border anyway, but we'll take precautions." The night before their wedding, Lily couldn't sleep. She paced her room, alternating between excitement for the coming day and anxiety about Blackwell's threats. Eventually, she decided fresh air might clear her head. Wrapping a shawl around her shoulders, she slipped quietly downstairs and out onto the porch. The night was clear, a half moon casting silver light across the ranch yard. Lily sat on the porch swing, listening to the peaceful sounds of nocturnal creatures and the occasional shifting of horses in the nearby corral. She didn't hear the soft footsteps until a shadow loomed beside her. Couldn't sleep either. Lily jumped slightly, then relaxed as Cole settled beside her on the swing. "Too many thoughts." He nodded, understanding. "Second thoughts?" "Not about marrying you," she assured him quickly. "Never that." They sat in comfortable silence for several minutes, the swing creaking gently beneath them. When Cole spoke again, his voice was soft with wonder. "I had a dream tonight, about the first time I saw you." Lily turned to him curious. "At the spring dance?" "No, before that. At your father's general store in Clearwater. You were helping a young mother with her baby, showing her how to use a sling to carry the child while working. You were so patient, so kind. I bought a tin of coffee I didn't need just to hear your voice when you took my payment." Lily stared at him, her heart racing. "Cole, that's not a dream. That happened exactly as you described it, but you never told me you'd seen me before the dance." Cole's eyes widened as realization dawned. "It's a memory," he whispered. "A real memory." They stayed on the porch until dawn, Cole recounting fragments of memories as they surfaced their first dance, the letters he'd written by lamplight, the day he'd asked her father's permission to court her. Some details were still missing, the timeline jumbled, but the memories were undeniably real. "It's coming back," Lily said as the first light of their wedding day painted the eastern sky. "Just like Dr. Morrison said it might." Cole pulled her close, his kiss full of promise. "Just in time for our new beginning." Their wedding day dawned clear and bright. The ranch was transformed with wildflowers and ribbons, and guests began arriving by mid-morning. Lily prepared in the guest room that had been hers since her arrival, Martha and several neighboring women helping her dress in the white gown they'd worked on together. "You look beautiful," Martha declared, adjusting Lily's veil. "Cole's going to fall in love all over again when he sees you." A knock at the door revealed Sam, looking uncomfortable but handsome in his Sunday best. Miss Lily. Since your father couldn't make the journey, I was wondering if you'd do me the honor of letting me walk you down the aisle." Cole suggested it, "but only if you're agreeable." Tears threatened to ruin Lily's carefully applied makeup as she nodded. "I'd be proud to have you give me away, Sam." The ceremony was set for noon in the flower-decked garden. As Lily waited in the house for her cue, she heard the murmur of assembled guests and the soft strains of a fiddle playing. Her heart beat a rapid tattoo against her ribs, equal parts nervousness and joy. "Ready?" Sam asked, offering his arm. Lily nodded, taking a deep breath. "Ready." They stepped into the sunshine to the collective gasp of the assembled guests, but Lily had eyes only for Cole, standing tall and handsome at the end of the makeshift aisle. His face, when he saw her, transformed with such raw emotion that tears sprang to her eyes. Sam guided her forward as the fiddle played a sweet, simple melody. With each step, memories of the past months flashed through Lily's mind, meeting Cole on the trail, nursing him through his injury, falling in love with him all over again as he rediscovered himself. When she reached him, Cole took her hands in his eyes never leaving her face. The minister began the ceremony, his words washing over them as they stood bound together by something deeper than memory. "I, Cole, take thee, Lily." Cole's voice was strong and clear as he recited his vows. When it was Lily's turn, she spoke from her heart. "I, Lily, take thee, Cole, to be my lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part." Cole slid his mother's ring onto her finger, no longer hanging from the chain around her neck, but taking its rightful place as a symbol of their union. As the minister pronounced them husband and wife, Cole pulled Lily into a kiss that sealed their journey, one that had overcome amnesia, outlaws, and uncertainty to arrive at this perfect moment. The celebration continued well into the evening, with feasting, dancing, and toasts to the newlyweds. As sunset painted the sky in brilliant hues, Cole led Lily away from the festivities to a quiet spot overlooking the ranch. "Happy?" he asked, his arms encircling her waist from behind. "Completely," she replied, leaning back against him. "And you? Any regrets about marrying a woman your mind is still getting to know?" Cole turned her in his arms to face him. "Lily Lancaster," he said, testing her new name with a smile. "My mind may have forgotten, but my heart always remembered. From the moment I opened my eyes after the accident, something in me recognized you, trusted you, needed you." "And now?" she asked softly. "Now I remember enough of our past to know how lucky I am, and I look forward to creating a future full of memories neither of us will ever forget." As they sealed this promise with a kiss, Lily knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, whether from Blackwell, the harsh Wyoming winters, or the unpredictable nature of ranch life, they would face them together, their love stronger for having been tested and found unbreakable. In the years that followed, Cole's memories continued to return in pieces, though some parts of their courtship remained forever lost to him. But it mattered little as they built their life together, eventually constructing the home Cole had envisioned in their special meadow. Their family grew with the addition of twins, a boy and girl who inherited their father's blue eyes and their mother's determination. The Diamond L Ranch prospered under their joint management, expanding its boundaries and reputation. Blackwell was eventually captured and imprisoned in the territorial prison, no longer a threat to their happiness. And each year on their anniversary, Cole and Lily would sit on the porch of their meadow home, watching the sunset and marveling at the journey that had brought them together not once, but twice. "I never told you," Cole confessed on their 5th anniversary, "but sometimes I'm almost grateful for that accident." Lily raised an eyebrow in surprise. "Grateful?" For nearly dying and losing your memory? He nodded, taking her hand in his. Because it gave me the chance to fall in love with you twice. How many men can say they've been blessed enough to experience that miracle twice in one lifetime? Lily's eyes shimmered with tears as she leaned in to kiss the man who had forgotten her name, but never forgot how to love her. Only you, Cole Lancaster. Only you.